Interesting times indeed. Happy New Year, all of my friends, all of you that follow the show. I'm here in Miami. I had some technical difficulties. I apologize for not being on the air. I also took some time to be with my children and really just reflect on life. I'm going to get into everything from what happened down in Louisiana to what happened in Vegas with the Tesla truck exploding to Elon Musk and his perceived censorship. I believe it's censorship. And I told you about this months ago. I'm going to cover a lot of different news. So make sure you subscribe. I know the quality is not what you're used to because I don't have all of my equipment that I usually do have. God willing, this year we'll have a full mobile setup so we can keep the consistency and quality. But I think this will do. So let's get into it. We heard reports today, New Orleans attacked a suspect. New Orleans, the guy that, attacked everybody in New Orleans is suspected, discussed plans to kill his family and join ISIS and chilling recordings. Here's what we know. In a series of videos, the suspect is deadly New Year's attack in New Orleans, discussed planning to kill his family and having dreams that helped inspire him to join ISIS. Shamsuddin Jabbar, the 42-year-old man who police suspect drove a pickup truck into a crowd of revelers on Bourbon Street, killing at least 15 people and injuring dozens more, made the chilling recordings while driving from his home in Texas to Louisiana, authorities believe. Jabbar, a U.S. citizen and Army veteran who served in Afghanistan, made reference in the videos to his divorce and how he had at the first planned to gather his family for a celebration with the intention of killing them. Two officials who had been briefed on the recording said, but Jabbar said in the videos that he changed his plans and joined ISIS and referenced several dreams that he had about why he should be joining the terrorist group. Well, the good news is our government supported the guy that just overthrew Syria, and he was ex-Al-Qaeda, which they believe evolved into ISIS. So I have a lot of people saying, well, will you condemn what happened as a Muslim? I will always condemn terrorism, the killing of innocent civilians, whether it's a quote-unquote Muslim doing it to non-Muslims, whether it's a Christian fanatic or a Jewish fanatic that drops bombs on a building full of children, okay? But what the American people should be asking them is, who's been supporting these groups? We invaded Afghanistan back in 2001 to take out the Taliban. We've left them in power. Our government's been paying them. That's a fact. So when are we going to get more mad? Forget these psychos that do what they do, because clearly this guy's mentally ill. Clearly. He wanted to kill his own family, then join ISIS. He was a part of the U.S. military. How did this guy even get into the U.S. military? Sounds like a veteran suffering from PTSD because he was sent to fight in wars that were unjustified, in my opinion, and we were lied to for over 20-something years for all of the invasions we did in these countries, in my opinion, under false pretenses. I've spoken to many veterans who have served in Iraq and Afghanistan who have suffered. Every 22 minutes, a veteran takes his life. Maybe our government should stop sending our veterans to fight in wars that are really not to the benefit of the American people, nor make us safer as a country. When are the American people going to say, well, why are we backing this guy that took over Syria when he was ex-Al-Qaeda? How can you explain that to 9/11 survivors? How can you explain that to the American people? How can you explain that to the military? Who's supporting these people? Right? So how does any of that make sense? But yes, I will condemn it. When are you, instead of asking me as a Muslim who is clearly against violence, knows that it's against my religion, taking the innocence of life, it's in the Quran, it's explicitly explained by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that under no circumstances can you ever kill a civilian or a non-combatant. Why do I need to justify my faith, which clearly states you cannot kill innocent people? But when are you going to ask the American government to condemn the wars that they've started using people like this guy who clearly lost his mind, probably from serving in Afghanistan? When are you going to ask the American, when are you going to condemn your government as an American for invading all these countries and fighting wars on behalf of other countries, in my opinion? None of the wars in the Middle East have benefited America, okay? None of them. When are you going to condemn it? Millions of lives lost. Yet every time something bad happens, you expect 2 billion people who don't support war, who know that killing innocent people's wrong, yet you never look in the mirror and ask yourselves to condemn your own government, your own military for doing what they've done over the last 25 years and longer than that. It's hypocrisy at its finest. Period. Jabbar served in the army for more than a decade, okay? An army spokesperson told CNN on Wednesday he served as a human resource specialist and information technology specialist on active duty between March 2007 and January 2015 and deployed to Afghanistan once from February 2009 to January 2010. The spokesperson said Jabbar was born in Beaumont, Texas. He said in a 2020 YouTube video, personal introduction, in which he pitched himself as a professional real estate agent based in Houston. This dude looks like he has some serious mental issues, okay? And the fact that he had an ISIS sticker on his truck and no one in New Orleans called him out, he would have lasted 5 minutes driving in the South with an ISIS bumper sticker or flag. They would have flagged him. My hillbilly brothers down south would have flagged this car in minutes. To me, it's just interesting that he even had that on his vehicle when he did this attack and he wasn't spotted anywhere before the attack. There's a lot that remains unanswered here, but I told you, expect great turmoil as we enter the new year. We've had a wide open border for 4 years, 100% sleeper cells all throughout the country, and people are worried about the stupidest things right now. Now we move to what happened in Vegas, and I've stayed at the Trump Tower before. Fireworks, gas tanks, and camping fuel used in Tesla Cybertruck explosion outside Las Vegas. I can't play videos since I'm on my mobile setup, but I've seen the videos. What an explosion that was. Okay? Authorities believe fireworks, gas tanks, and camping fuel were connected to a detonation system controlled by the driver in the Tesla Cybertruck that exploded outside a Trump hotel in Las Vegas Wednesday morning. The incident is being investigated as a possible terrorist attack, according to a law enforcement official. At a news conference, Las Vegas Sheriff Kevin McHale said a vehicle fire was reported at the hotel just after 8:40 a.m. There is one deceased individual inside the Cybertruck, and I don't know whether it is a male or a female at this time. I guess there's nothing left. I guess his penis got annihilated, that they can't even figure out what this person was. Video shared on social media appears to show the car engulfed in smoke as it's being hosed down. Jeremy Schwartz, acting special agent in charge of the FBI in Las Vegas, also confirmed that his team is involved in the investigation. Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo wrote on X that his office is coordinating with authorities and will ensure that they have necessary resources available. The Cybertruck was rented on the car rental company Turo's app. Surveillance video shows a driver passing by Trump Hotel in Vegas about an hour before the car explodes and then circling back near the end of that hour and stopping in front of the hotel where the car explodes several seconds later. Authorities are exploring whether this is a connection between the explosion and the attack in New Orleans, or maybe it was just some stupid moron that housed fireworks and stuff in his car that he shouldn't have had. I mean, I don't know. How do we really know? We don't know. But I find it funny that it was a Tesla truck in front of a Trump tower. Sounds like a message from the deep state, if you ask me. That's what it looks like on the surface level. Elon Musk car in front of a Trump tower. What are the odds of that? Sounds like someone was sending a message. That's what it sounds like to me. A lot of you have been hearing about problems with planes. I've flown down here. I was worried to put my children on a plane back to New York yesterday. I did. They got there safe. We heard about what happened in Azerbaijan. Then we heard about the horrific incident in South Korea. So it's been a little scary. Seems that there's been a lot more incidents happening on planes over the last couple of weeks. I don't know if we have any clear-cut information to explain why these things are happening, except human error and defects. The one in Azerbaijan, they were trying to blame on Russia, but now it looks like they're blaming it on their air traffic control. I do not know. I know a lot of you have been asking me questions about the fog. I am in Florida. I have not seen any fog. I've spoken to a few of you through my channel. Some of you in Scotland and other parts of the world have seen the fog. I've only had one of you tell me that the fog doesn't smell right. We've seen the videos that are circulating online where you can see particles. I mean, you can see particles. I've driven through fog. However, I don't know if there's something nefarious about this fog. Maybe it's some type of nano dust, as it's called, would be the worst case scenario. But I don't really have enough information to make an educated guess here. That would be the worst case scenario, in my opinion. Other than that, I do not know. If any of you have a better idea, I know I get into crazy theories, but I don't like to just speculate without having some type of proof or evidence. So we'll keep you posted on that story. Russia's gas supply to Europe has just halted after Ukraine's transit deal expires, so the cost of energy is about to skyrocket. Right in the middle of winter, might completely shut off most of Europe, which depends on Russia's gas supply. Like I said, we're entering 2015 with extreme volatility. Please be prepared. Please have, resources if things go crazy. Okay, very dangerous day will be January 6th. Even more dangerous will be January 20th. And until this guy gets into office. And again, I don't think he's some superhero that's going to save America and protect free speech. There's big controversy going on right now with Elon Musk and free speech and censorship and content creators like Fresh and Fit and Nick Fuentes and all these people who I don't agree with all of their views. But still, free speech means even if I don't like what you're saying, even if it may be hurtful, true free speech means we can hear what anybody has to say. But it seems like when anyone criticizes certain countries or certain groups of people, they get shut down. You decide if that's a conspiracy or if it's fact. From what I can tell, it's a fact. Because I don't see any other group being treated in that fashion. Thieves swiped $13 million in jewels, handbags, and cash from a London mansion. They're having a great start to their new year in the UK, these criminals. The owner of the estate, identified in British media as an Instagram influencer, and her developer husband were not home at the time, but employees were there and a housekeeper had a near run-in with the armed intruder. Now, I will tell you, a lot of these people, these celebrities, they want to be flashy, you want to flaunt your wealth, you want to flaunt, this excess lifestyle that you have. You are a target, my friend. LA, you had, a lot of people having their houses broken into while they're home with armed intruders. You've had rappers lose their life because they post where they're at or these massive gold chains. For those of you that want to rob me, even if I was worth millions of dollars, I would never keep cash. I don't wear jewelry. I'm a Muslim. We're not allowed to wear gold. I don't have any diamonds, so you're wasting your time. If you want to break in, sit down, have a cup of coffee, and talk about geopolitics, you're more than welcome. Matter of fact, you don't have to break in. Just shoot me a message. I'll meet you at Dunkin' Donuts because I don't support Starbucks, and we can sit down and have a conversation because you ain't going to find shit in my house except me and my boxers probably, and you don't want to see that. You'll probably throw up. You're probably like, why did I break into this house? Why did I break into this house? Oh my God, he has more stretch marks than a highway. Trust me, you don't want to break in. China issues a chilling warning. I think Taiwan's days are numbered, although maybe Trump does something to save them. I don't know. Taiwan president welcomes exchanges with China as Xi says no one can stop the reunification of China. That means China absorbing Taiwan. You can go and read those stories if you haven't seen. I think it's only a matter of time. Taiwan is a peanut compared to mainland China, and they want it. I don't know why they want it, except for the fact that it's the #1 producer of microchips in the world. That would be a great resource to have under their command. If I was in Taiwan, you guys should rig all of the factories that produce these chips. And if China decides to invade, you guys should just hit that button. And if they take over your country, at least they will not have access to that technology or that production. And that's how you get your last minute of revenge. If I lived in Taiwan, I would have some type of fail-safe where if China invades, just like when a military leaves a base, if they're normal, not like in Afghanistan, which was nothing normal about it, nothing kosher about how America exited Afghanistan. Most militaries, when they leave a base or a country that they're withdrawing from, they destroy all of the supplies that they have there, their technology. If I was in Taiwan and I was in charge of this tech and these companies that produce the tech, I would have a way to destroy all the technology all of the ways to manufacture this shit. If you're going to lose your freedom and go down, let the world suffer. I guess they won't have your chips, and neither will China. And the way the world's become, with all this nonsense, the world was a way better place before technology. It really was. Before social media, before computer chips. Taiwanese, hey, have a failsafe. China wants to take over, destroy it all before they get it. That's what you're supposed to do. Now to the Balkans. Montenegro has a mass shooting. 10 people, including 2 children, in southern Montenegro on Wednesday, police say. At least some of the deaths happened inside a restaurant in the Chetnia area following a verbal argument between guests. It was later confirmed that the attacker, named Alexander Martinovic, had killed himself. The government has declared 3 days of national mourning. The gunman killed members of his own family, 2 of the restaurant owner's children, and also the owner, according to the Interior Minister Danilo Sarnovic. Martinovic, 45, fled the scene of the attack, but later killed himself after being surrounded by police who asked him to drop his weapon. The man had previously been arrested for weapons possession. Mass shootings are comparatively rare in the small Balkan nation. I'm going to type in his name. I'm wondering what his ethnicity is, and I hope it's not of my people. But let's see. There is, let's see here. Cannot figure this out, but no, I don't know. At this time, do not know if he was ethnically a Montenegrin, a Serbian, or an Albanian, but if any of you have information, drop a comment below. Praying it's not from my people, that's all. Pakistan airstrikes on Afghanistan killed 46 people, the Taliban says. 6 people were also injured in the bombing at 4 locations in Afghanistan. Deputy spokesperson Hamdullah Fitrat said on Wednesday the Pakistani government and military officials did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Afghanistan considers this brutal act a blatant violation of all international principles and an obvious act of aggression. So, things are heating up around the world at the moment. Another thing that continues to heat up is the perceived bird sickness that is spreading throughout the U.S. You have ex-officials that were responsible for the handling of 2019 shutdown saying that America is setting up itself for another shutdown. You have 70% of California's dairy herds are infected with the bird flu. Are we going to have a hard time getting milk and eggs and cheese and yogurt and critical staple foods in 2025? Well, if this continues, I don't know. All I know is chaos is coming. I don't know when. I can't give you an exact date. I'm not God. I give you my analysis. I give you my predictions. And one of the analysis I gave so many of you was to not trust Elon Musk or the former Twitter platform of X when it comes to free speech. And over the last couple of weeks, many big influencers who spoke against Elon over the visa issue have been demonetized and also lost their blue check marks. There's been a lot of exchange back and forth on X. Elon Musk posted here, claiming censorship while simultaneously getting millions of views is the clearest possible evidence that Nick Fuentes has shit for brains. He does have a point there. However, Nick responded with, when you declared war against opponents of H-1B, did that include banning? That's the name of the visa that allows people to come into the U.S. Did that include banning or unverifying X-users who disagree with you? That seems to be the perception after the wave of suspensions and de-verifications this week. Even the appearance of retaliation chills speech. So a lot of accounts here showing that they were suspended and that move. Free speech, my ass. When I was on, I forgot his name, man. I was on his podcast. Go look at the timestamp. Sean Kelly's podcast 5 months ago. He's like, well, you know, X is free speech and Elon Musk. And I said, for now. It's free speech for now. All it takes is a push of a button. And many of you influencers that were swinging off Elon's penis, basically, I warned you. I told you. As long as you don't speak against certain things or certain countries or certain agendas, they'll let you rock out. The minute you try to exercise your free speech to speak freely about what you think or what you believe, even though I may think you're wrong in many ways, I don't agree with a lot of Nick Fuentes' shit. A lot of it. I think he's got a lot of mental issues, in my opinion. I do agree with a lot of what Fresh and Fit stands for, and I do not agree with a lot of what they say also. And I don't group entire people. I will never say all Muslims are this, or all Christians are that, or all Jews are this. Never. You'll never hear that type of rhetoric come out of my mouth. I feel like a lot of these people who are frustrated with what's going on in the Middle East, and maybe what's going on here in the U.S., don't know how to distinguish between extremists and just people of those groups. Extremists exist in all cultures, all religions, all ideologies. You got feminism, I call them feminazis, some of them so to the extreme that they want to emasculate men, and then you have men that don't want to give women any type of rights. So I don't know what the word is for that, toxic masculinity, whatever you want to call it. I try to be someone in the middle that's open and fair. I warned you about Elon. I do not trust him. I have never trusted him. Anyone that wants to put a chip in your brain and connect it to AI is not on the side of humanity. With that being said, I want to wish all of you an amazing new year. May the peace and blessings of God reach you and your families. I want to thank you personally for making this podcast into the top 5% of all podcasts on Spotify and top 2% in the world. I promise to continue this work. I promise to make special episodes and respond to many different topics. I'm going to be expanding my production. I'm going to be going into the streets of New York City. I'm going to be bringing you that heat. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on X, subscribe on Instagram. All of my links are available at beklover.com. I apologize for not having the theme music and all the fancy schmancy stuff, but I know a lot of you just appreciate me uploading on time. So thank you. This is Bek Lover, and don't forget, we live in interesting times. Interesting times indeed. I had an amazing New Year's last night. I walked the streets of South Beach. I enjoyed a tea called Blue Lotus. It was really amazing. It's made from the blue lotus, literally the flower. It was very calming and very nice. I highly recommend you try it. I'm going to keep up doing what I've been doing. I lost a lot of weight. 2024 was not a year of massive success, in my opinion. It was the year of the comeback. I am poised and ready to continue this work. I will be responding to Wes Huff and a lot of the comments that he makes about the faith that I follow. For those of you that enjoy religious discussion and debates, you'll see that episode hopefully in the next week or two. I know I was supposed to make it last week. I did not plan to come to Florida, but with everything that was happening with the drones, I kind of wanted to get my children to safety just in case there was any truth to those rumors of there being a dirty bomb on the East Coast, which honestly, who knows? Who really knows what's going on? We've had open borders, we have deception, we have groups of people that don't care about America, we have people in power that have betrayed us a long time ago. We've been infiltrated a long, long time ago. My predictions for the new year, massive conflict, crashes of the stock market, crashes into crypto, maybe a very elevating number for certain cryptocurrencies that I believe will be used by the government to audit the government, a part of Elon's Doge division, so that they can say, we're going to fight corruption. They'll never be able to hide anything on the universal ledger. And this is how they will introduce cryptocurrency to the entire nation, in my opinion. Crypto is the enemy. It will lead to the enslavement of humanity. I don't give a fuck how much money you're making. You're building your prison of tomorrow. This will age well. This is Bek Lover. Thank you for the support. If you want to send some super chats, some donations, it helps for me to expand my work and pay my staff. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next episode. It's Bek Lover, signing off. Ciao.